Yes, sir. Recording started.
So, we will start, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So, welcome to Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNU. You are meeting here together for the induction program of CIT OL under e-Vidyabharati project of the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, and in collaboration with IGNU. So this program is basically meant for induction of students, CIT OL student, about the program and the future course of actions regarding the academic program. So we have with us our senior regional director, Dr. Amit Chaturvedi. I am Dr. M.L. Lashkar, additional director, IGNU Noida Center. And you have our experts, academic counselors, and some some other experts are also there. And mostly it is the student who are actually participating here to know about the program details. So from today onwards, you are starting the counseling sessions for this program, and this half an hour from now will be for induction, and another 1.5 hours will be academic counseling for the courses, for the course which has been scheduled today. So first of all, I request our senior regional director, Dr. Amit Chaturvedi, to say a few words, and then you will proceed further. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. M.A. Laskar, Additional Director of IGNU Regional Center, Noida. First of all, I extend my warm welcome to all the students, those who have taken admission in CIT OL program under the premier collaboration between Ministry of External Affairs of India and South Africa through the IGNU. You are very fortunate that you have taken admission in the Indira Gandhi National Open University in the CIT program. It is one of the leading program of IGNU in as far as the computer awareness is concerned. All the students, after the completing this program, the student will be aware about the certificate in information and technology. CIT full form is the certificate in information technology. You will be aware about the basics of the computer applications in this program. There are the four courses in the CIT1, CIT2, CIT3, and CITL1. It is a lab course. There are the seven counseling sessions CIT1, six counseling sessions in CIT2, CIT3. There are the six counseling session theory counseling session. As far as the practical counseling sessions are concerned, there will be the 18 practical counseling sessions will be taken care by the our experts. Your computers they have also joined. My some of the academic counselor Dimple Jethi, Anil Kumar Saroj. These will be taken care of the account counseling theory as well as the practical counseling session. First of all, I would like to congratulate to you for the getting the admission in the CIT program in Indira Gandhi National University. As you are aware, IGNU is one of the largest mega open university in the world. As far as IGNU is concerned, we have a jurisdiction in entire country, but also we have centers in across the world बहुत सारे we have also the centers in Africa. And we have taken the collaboration with the South African countries, and we have established our we have jointly collaborate with the Ministry of External Affairs of Africa, South Africa, and India for the launching of the program. The large number of the students have taken admission in CIT program, not only in CIT program, but large number of the programs they have been taken by the students of the South Africa. As far as the IGNU is concerned, IGNU it is a central university, Government of India, Ministry. It comes under the Ministry of Education, Government of India. It is the largest mega open university. It was established in 1985 by Act of Parliament. As far as the modus operandi of the education system is, it is a distance education university, and as far as the CIT program, we have a counseling session, theory counseling session that will be taken care by through the counselors, and we have also supplied the study material through the IGNU website. You can download the study material from the IGNU website. As far as the counseling sessions are concerned, assignments are concerned, which is a mandatory requirement for all the students. Assignments is a compulsory component. It carries a weightage of the 30% passing marks. And please, I request all the students, those who have taken admission in the CIT program, they may download the assignment through the LMS of IGNOU and complete your assignment of all the 4 courses, CIT1, 2, 3, and CITL. Please submit your assignment at the LMS portal, and it will be evaluated by the esteemed academic counselors. This is the first system of the assessment system. It is a mandatory it is a compulsory component for the passing in the marks. And without the submission of the assignment, you cannot appear in the term and examination. You please, it is by request to kindly submit the assignment through the LMS. Okay. And as far as the examination concerned, it will be informed to you in due course of time through the registrar SED. It will be informed time to time through the LMS. We will inform you. So this is all about the system. Please download the assignment, and I wish you all success. And it is by earnest request to kindly do the course very judiciously and very. It is a wonderful. And after the completing this course, you will be aware about the information technology system and certificate. It is a basic computer course. It will be a wonderful course for the students, those who are not aware about the computer system. So this is a basic course, certificate in teaching, certificate in technology. Please do it, and very judiciously, and complete your assignment. Thank you very much, Dr. Laska. Please.
Sir, you are in mute. Sir, you are in mute. Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Yes. Sorry. Regarding assignment, I want to make some clarifications. Actually, for all other students, assignments are supposed to be submitted. But in case of e-Vidyavarti project students, in place of assignment, there will be quiz. It will be conducted in online mode, and it will be in the LMS portal itself. So there is no need for downloading it. First of all, you have to go through the study materials, which is there in the LMS portal. e-Vidyavarti, there is a learning management system using which you have been admitted. So you can check the study materials. Because your counseling is starting from today onwards. So in counseling sessions, you are supposed to clear doubts. If you have any, basically counselors will address your doubts regarding any of the issues which you face in your academic programs. So it is basically a counseling and responding to your queries. Okay. and everything will be done in online mode only. There is a designated email using which you have already communicated you. Any kind of communication through email or any kind of communication through email, you are requested to use that particular email address only, which is CIT1 that 39 you have to use. So you use that email address only for any kind of issues, and we will be responding to that through that email only. Okay, and our counselors will help you from time to time. This schedule has already been uploaded on the LMS portal. The counseling sessions are also being recorded, and all the counseling sessions, the recorded versions, are being uploaded on the website. So if you are missing any of the sessions, you can go back and check from the LMS portal on a later date. In fact, for the last session, we have already uploaded some of the recorded sessions, and these are available on the LMS portal. So you can check that earlier recorded sessions also. Try your best to learn maximum through all these available resources and take benefits of the experts, academic counselors, whenever they take sessions. And please don't hesitate in raising any of your questions, or if you have any doubts, feel free to ask. Okay, so always check the website, always check the LMS portal, and you can also check IGNU website, which is www.ignou.ac. AC means air cooler. .in. Yes. So www.ignou.ac.in. So now I will be requesting our academic counselors. I believe Dr. Dimple will be taking it. Dr. Dimple or Anil. Dr. Anil. I request one of them to brief about the CIT program structure within the next 10 minutes, and after that you will be counselor. So to the counselors, please.
Okay, sir. Oh. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Laskar. Thank you, Adi, sir. Now, basically, the objective of CIT program, basically CIT, it's a itself certificate in information technology. Basically, objective of this program is to introduce the concept of hardware, software, multimedia, and internet technology. It also includes the laboratory courses where the student get hands-on experience. They are they are basically CIT programs consist of three theory programs: CIT 01, CIT 02, CIT 03, CITL 001. L means lab courses. CIT 001 basically it's a fundamental of computer system, and basically we deal about the basic computer. What is the computer, what is perform, what is the hardware, what is the softwares, these types of technology we discuss in CIT 00. In all lectures we basically deal about the basic fundamental. In CIT 002 we deal about the information technology. What are the latest trend? What are the previous trend? Which technology used? What are hardware and softwares used? How to communicate to each other? With medium we use to communicate one to another. We'll deal about the CIT 002. In CIT 003, we basically deal about the HTML part. That means how now e-commerce is communicated to each other, how we transfer the money one account to another account, how to payment, how to purchase any particulars in particular website, how the payment will pass through our ATM to another machine. That will be discussed in CITL 03, CIT 003. In CITL 00L, basically it's a lab work. And basically we will deal about the MS Office part, like how to write, how to operate MS Office, how to operate, how to make a particular file, how to write a letter, how to bold, how to delete, this type, how to color, how to make a mail merge, macro. This thing will cover the laboratory courses. It will also cover the some programming parts. Programming part, that means we'll discuss the some C language, what is the basic concept of C language. We also cover the basic parts of Java. Java it's also programming language. We also discuss the basic the part of Java. We also discuss the database part, basically how data is transferred from one computer to another computer, and how the data is stored in a database, and how we can retrieve from the database. This will be discussed in CIT 00L, and all the details we'll discuss one by one. Anytime if you ask any question, free to call, free to ask. Now, Dimpleman, please start the sessions.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So, I'll be taking this CIT 01 course. Okay, so I'll be showing you a PPT and I'll be explaining the topics one by one. So, let's start. Uh, just let
Madam,
me
can I
share.
say something?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, yeah, no, actually, there are some students. Let us give them time. If they have any issue to raise now, if they have
Okay,
anything to
right,
tell now, maybe 2 3 minutes or 4 5 minutes. After that, you will
right,
start
sir.
the counseling session.
Yes, yes,
The dear students, this program most of the fundamental issues which are required for IT related issues, and it is a very comprehensive kind of programs. It will be beneficial to all of you, and you just take care that you are doing it sincerely. So, if you have any doubts, any issue, you tell. Otherwise, you will proceed with the counseling sessions. This session is open to the students to raise any query, any doubt as of now.
Any query, my
Okay.
dear friends?
Okay, then he'll proceed with the counseling. And I believe Dr. Dimple will be taking the session today.
Yes.
So
yes,
let us
sir.
start the session.
Yes,
And you just listen to it. This is being recorded, and this will be uploaded on the LMS portal also. So over to you, madam. Please
thank you, sir.
continue with the sessions.
Yes, sir.
Thanks to all of you. Thanks to our senior regional director for his advice and lecture on the important issues regarding induction. And thanks to all of you. For any issue, you will be addressing all these issues through email. So about you, Dimple madam, please. For your
Okay, sir.
career, madam.
Thank you, sir. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, yes, students, now we'll start with the first lecture of your first module, that is CIT 01. Okay, and here we'll be covering the basics of computers, right? So the basic here means we'll be covering the basic knowledge of hardware, basic knowledge of software, how computer works, okay, how we give instruction to the computer, how it process, how it saves, right? So that all basics of the computer machinery, how it works. So that all we'll study here. Different parts of computers we'll study, right? So let's start, and I'll be teaching through a PPT. So let me share my file first, then so that you will be able to see the topics what I am speaking on, right? Just a second. Just give me a second, student. So yes, is my screen visible to all of you, students?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. So I'm starting with this PPT, and if you have any doubt, you can. Yes, thank you, Navaya. So if you have any doubt, you can raise your hand. Okay. Okay, right. So here, first of all, I'm telling you why we need computer. Why we need computer? Anybody? What is the basic usage of computer? Why we started using computer? Any idea? Yes. So basically, what happens like nowadays? You know that every government, every business organization, whether it's a bank or whether it's entertainment industry or education industry, insurance industry, so in every business, their business depends on information, right? So whoever no whichever company has more information, they can flourish more, they can expand more. So like their future, their no everything depends on the technology, on the information. Right now the thing is like whoever in the market is going to compete, is going to make themselves better. Any company, any electronics company or any car company, whichever example you take. So any company, if they want to be superior in the market, or suppose they want to be compete better in the market, so they need more information, they need latest updates on the technology, they need more information on the consumers data, customers data, right? So now how we can gather so much of information, and what do you mean by information? So first of all, it starts, the computer role starts here. Whether what is information, that information can be provided to us by the computers. Okay, so now what is data and what is information? So anybody can tell me the difference between data and information? Any students? Okay. So, see, data is whatever raw facts and figures we collect, okay? That is our data, right? And after processing, that data becomes the information. So, now what is data? What is information? I give you an example. Suppose if I collect, there are 30, 40, 50 students in my class, and if I collect your marks, okay, individually, if I collect your marks, so that is my data, that is my raw facts and figure. But if I do some processing on it, if I calculate your percentage, if I calculate who has topped the class, who what percentage of students are failed, and so on, how many what percentage of students scored for division, like that, right? So if I process the data, if I analyze the data, and after that whatever results I get, right, that is my information. Okay, now the thing is, okay, you got it, the data is the raw facts and figures, and information is after processing whatever results we get, that is my information. Now again the question is, what is the role of computer here in between, right? So raw facts and figure is basically whatever we give input to the computer, that is the data. The data that we give to the computer, that is the input for the computer. Okay, then computer will do some processing on that. Obviously all these processing nowadays are not done manually, right? All this processing is done, just a second, just a second. Yes, sorry. So yes, I was saying, like, whatever data I have collected, when I input that data in the computer, that is the input for the computer, then computer will do some processing on it, right? And then after processing, whatever output computer gives us, okay, so that is the information, right? So you can say that data is the input that we give to the computer, and obviously who does the processing in computer? Which part of the computer does the processing? Yes, Francis, Nayava, anyone? Which part of the computer does the processing? No idea? You haven't heard about a processor? Haven't you heard this term? Yes, Francis, tell me. Yes, Francis, tell me. You have any query? Okay, so I was saying, like processor, there is one processor in the computer which is called CPU, Central Processing Unit. Okay, so that processor, its job is to process the data, right? So we will give in data as an input, then the processor in the computer will do the processing as per our instruction, obviously, right? Computer doesn't know what to do. As a user, as a programmer, we will tell the computer what to do on this data. I will tell the computer to create a chart on this data, or sort this data, or calculate the percentage of this data, whatever. Okay, so whatever instruction I will give, according to that instruction, the computer will process the data, and it will give me the output, which is my information. Okay, so here the computer is the device, electronic device. Obviously this is run electrically, this is an electronic device using electricity. Okay, so this is used to process the data. Okay, so that is the, we give the data as an input, and we get the information as the output, and in between the processing is done by the computer to convert this data into information. Now there are some characteristics, that whatever information you are getting, what features that information should have. Okay, what characteristics that information should have. Suppose I'm as a lecturer here, like I have collected your what did you say, your course content. Okay, I collected your course content, then I prepared this PPT, right? So this is the information that I am giving you, right? So my data was your course, your syllabus, right, number of lectures, all that. So I worked on that data, and then this is my final output. This PPT is my final output which I'm giving you. This is the information, right? Now what characteristics this information should have? First of all, whatever information I'm giving you, that information should be accurate. Okay, so first characteristics of information is accuracy, that whatever information the computer is giving you, that should be accurate. What is the second feature? Second is form. Form is, it should be given in the form which is best understood by its user. Okay, so that means, like, if suppose the we know that computer works on 0 and 1. Do you know that computer, what is the computer language? Have you heard about it? Computer language, machine language. Okay, like we can understand our English or any other language, the same way computer understand only machine language, that is 0 and 1. Okay, so whatever you enter in the computer, whatever you save in the computer, that for us, for you user, that is some in no uh, alphabets, or something is in numbers, right, or in pictures. But for computer, everything gets stored in the form of 0 and 1 only. Okay, and the 0 and 1, because there are only two digits, that is why they call it binary language, or you call it machine language also. Okay, so this is the machine language, or this is the binary language. But whatever computer process, and obviously it will, whatever data we will give, it will store that data as in the form of machine language, then it will process it in the form of machine language, then it will return the information in the form of machine language. But obviously that machine language will not be understood by the user. We will not be able to understand that machine language, because whatever characters we are typing, every character gets stored in the form of some 0 and 1, right? And we cannot remember what is the 0 and 1 code for A, what is the 0 and 1 for B, for C, for any number, right? So that is why it again get converted into our language, English language. Okay, so here the meaning is that whatever information is provided by the computer, it should be in the form which is understood by the user. Okay, like in my example, if I am providing you these notes in the form of PPT, so that you can understand it better, so in whichever form, or in PDF I will provide you, right? So that the form of that information should be which is understood by the user. Third is relevant. Relevant is of no utility. That information should be of any usage for you, right? Like I'll be teaching you the topics which are in your course content. If I'll teach you something, if I'll provide you the notes of those topics which are outside, no, out of your syllabus, so that is not relevant for you. Okay, so that means whatever is your usage, so whatever information I am providing, or you can say computer is providing, that should be of your relevance, right, of your related to your application. Okay, why, what you are studying, that should be within your scope, right? Next is timeliness. Timeliness is, obviously I can't say that I am teaching you in the form you can understand in PPT. I'm giving you the accurate information, I'm giving you the relevant information, but I will give you this information 2 days before your exam. Will it be useful for you? I'll really appreciate if you guys no respond me, so I'll feel better if at least you say yes, no,
Okay, okay, mom.
you are getting it or you're not getting it, right? So at least respond. It should be two-way communication, right? So what I'm saying, that if timeliness is also important, because if I just provide you all these notes just 1 day before your exam, then it will be of no use for the student, right? So timeliness is that whatever information you are getting, that should be given to you in time. That is why in computer, time is of very importance. Why? Because it depends that why we purchase. When we purchase a computer, we see what is the speed of that computer. Why we see the speed? Because we want that whatever computer is processing, it should respond, it should give me the information as fast as possible. Okay, we don't want delayed information. You don't want that whatever I am speaking, what do you want? That whatever I'm speaking, you should catch that, you should listen that immediately, right? There should not be any delay, right? So that is timeliness, is that whatever information is provided to you, that should be on time. Okay, if you are, suppose you have to launch a software in the market, right? And your team is not ready with it. Okay, you get delayed. It gets delayed by 1 week or by 1 month, and by that time your competitor has launched the same copy of that software. What will happen in that case? Your market is finished, obviously, right? Whosoever will come first in the market, he will capture more share of the market, right? So that is like time is very important for any business, right? So for your exams also, you want classes should be on start on time, classes should finish on time, I should get notes on time, everything, every information you should get on time from the university. It's not like just 2 days before the exam, university will inform you that after 2 days you have your exams, right? So the same way, information should be made available on time. That is also very important. Completeness is also one feature. Okay, like it's not like whatever I'm teaching you is accurate, fine, it's on time, fine, it's on in a proper format, fine, but I'm teaching 50% of the course. That is not acceptable, right? So complete is whatever information you are getting, that should be complete. Okay, so this is what you want, right? This is one important feature of the information. Next is purpose. Purpose is that information must serve some purpose. Okay, like if I am teaching you this syllabus, I am providing you these notes. Now my purpose is so that you get better marks in your exam, so that you get maximum understanding out of these notes, right? So that is the purpose of this information, right? So every information is served for a purpose. As I said, sometimes you will collect the information from the market, that what percentage of users are using internet, what percentage of users are using iPhone, what, so like whatever information you are collecting, that information you are collecting for a purpose, because you want to launch a new product, you want to open a new showroom, or you want to open a new study center for this university, right? So whatever can be there will be some purpose of your information. Then reliability, obviously, it's like, okay, it's accurate, it's complete, but it's not reliable. Reliable means every time it gives the correct output. So whatever information computer is providing you, every time it should give the correct output, same output for the same input. That is called reliability. Okay, if I give you some task, okay, as a teacher, suppose if I say you have to perform this assignment, and out of 10 times turn you just turn out, you can say 3 or 4 times after 10. So I'll say, no, this student is not reliable. Sometimes he comes up with the homework, sometimes he doesn't complete the assignment, right? But if any students does the assignment on time, correct assignment, like I can say 9 times out of 10 or 10 out of 10, so I will say, no, this is reliable. If you give him some task, he will definitely do it, right? So that is the reliability, that I can rely on that system, I can rely on the output, that every time computer will give the same output for the same input. It's not like sometimes it will give different output, right? So that is reliability. Obviously this information should be valid, right? I'm not teaching you any outdated information, I should not teach you, right? So these are the characteristics of information. So what is data, what is information? Now next is, what is the definition of computer? Okay. Now, what is the definition of computer? This is compute. It's a word derived from compute. So why we derive it from compute? Because obviously we started using computer for the computation purpose only. It started with the computation purpose only, means mathematical calculation purpose only, right? So in the beginning, the purpose of the computer was only the calculation, like a calculator, only arithmetic operations, right? So it was considered to be a machine, a calculating device which can perform arithmetic operation at a very high speed. When we started using the computer initially, nowadays, computer is used in every age, right? It's not only based on, or what you say, it does not only perform calculation, it perform all kinds of jobs nowadays. In every sector it is used, right? So as I have written here, that nowadays 80% of the jobs performed by the computers are of non-mathematical nature. Okay, these are of non-mathematical nature. So this is computer. So the definition of computer is that, first, this is an electronic device which is used to process data. So as I said, what is the cycle of this computer? Input, you give the input, it processes it, and then it gives the output. The cycle is input, process, output. And sometimes you will find it written in some books as IPO. What is IPO cycle? IPO is input, process, and output cycle. Okay, so what is basically computer? Computer is a collection of hardware and software. Anybody can tell me the difference between hardware and software? What is hardware? What is software? Any idea? No idea. Hardware is any part, any physical part which you can touch, which you can see. Okay, that is called hardware, right? Like, what are the hardware parts of the computer? What are the hardware parts of the computer? Yes, Francis, please go ahead. Tell me. Unmute yourself and then you can speak out, or you can type in the chat. Yes, Francis, please go ahead. What do you want to say? You can type in the chat box. Are you not able to speak out, to unmute yourself? What is the problem? You're raising your hand, but I don't know, you're not able to speak up, or I don't know. Okay, so anybody can tell me hardware parts of the computer? I'm asking Nayava, what are the hardware parts of computer? Tell me the names of hardware parts of computer. What you are not getting in this? You're not getting what is hardware, or you don't know the hardware of computer, the parts of computer basically. Okay. Yes, Francis, please. You're just raising your hand. Go ahead. What do you want to speak? So nobody can tell me the hardware parts of computer, Nayava? Yes, you are right. Software are the instructions. Very good. Yes, right. So hardware is like, as I said, hardware means any physical component which you can touch, which you can see. Okay. So I'm asking, what are the hardware components of computer? What comes under that? That is mouse, keyboard, hard disk, okay, monitor. So all these parts which you can see, which you can touch, they all come under hardware of computer. And what is software of computer? Software means, as I said, this input process output. We will give the input, computer will process it and give us the output. But how it will process? It will process as per our instruction. Okay. Now instructions are basically, we give the instruction uh, in the form of some commands, you can say. Okay. So that is your software. Software is basically the collection of programs. Okay. Collection of programs, and program is collection of instructions. Okay. So software, through software, the computer will understand the user's instructions. Okay. Like if you are using Microsoft Word, so if you say save, if you click on open, so that is a software. That MS Word is a software. Okay. And when you click on some button, that is a command, that is an instruction that you are giving to the computer. So that software is a way of giving instruction to the computer, that what to do with the data, what to process on the data. Okay. So that input, the computer will take the input, it will process it according to the user's instructions, stored instructions, that is software, and then it will produce the output. Right. Now what are the characteristics of computer? What are the characteristics of computer? Right. Now first point is high processing speed. Obviously we use computer because it can work, or it can process the data at a very high speed. Obviously seconds are no are is a very big unit for computer. It can function in the 1,000th fraction of a second. Right. So that is like nanosecond, millisecond, there are so many no fractions of seconds it can process your instruction. So that is why we use computer, because it can process the data at a very fast speeds. Okay. Next is accuracy. Obviously the computer always gives us the accurate result. So we, if as a human being, we can also process the data, we can also give the accurate result, but obviously the speed of a computer is much more than the human being. It gives very accurate results up to no 10, 20, 30 points, up to precision you can, it can give you the results. Okay. Then next is automatic. Obviously this is automatic machine, because you just have to click on the command, you just have to start the job, right? And then it will continue, it will finish the job automatically, it will perform, it will complete the job automatically. You don't have to interfere in between for every step. Right. So you just have to it can perform, it can complete the job without any human assistant. Like if suppose a fully automatic washing machine we use, right, there is also a chip, there is also some memory, right, there are also some kind of processor in that. So we just click on start button, and then what are the steps in that machine will keep on doing this, that machine will complete that job automatically. Okay. We don't need to interfere between that. Right. So that is the automatic. This Jacqueline, you are not a student of CIT? Musoki Jacqueline. You're not a student of CIT? You don't have to attend this class? Please reply. Okay, it's your wish if you don't want to reply. Okay, so what I was saying, yes. So the features of characteristics of computers are it can work on a very high speed, at a very high speed, then it will give you the very accurate result. It is automatic. Okay, you just have to start the job and it will complete that job. Then next is storage capability. It can store a large amount of data. Okay, and whenever you want to retrieve that data, then you can access that data and you can access any part of that information instantly. Okay, so you can store a large amount of data. That is also one feature of computer. Next is reliability. So reliability, as I just said, it will give you the same output for the same input every time without any failure. That is called reliable. So this is the, you can say, this is also the measurement of the performance of a computer. Okay, then next is versatility. Versatility means it can perform all kinds of job. This is not only mathematical job, right, or any character based job. It can do all multiple tasks simultaneously. It can, you can type a letter, side by side you can listen to a music, side by side you can install a software, so you can do multiple tasks at a time, right? So that is versatility. So computer is versatile, it can perform many kinds of jobs, right? Next is diligence. What is diligence? Diligence is, obviously we'll say that human being can also process the data, but we as a human being, we will get tired, we will get bored. Okay, but as a computer, as a machine, if it performs the same task 1 million times, even then it will not get bored, it will not get tired. So that is what called is the diligence. Okay, it will give the same accurate result for the first instruction also and for the 1,000 instruction also. Okay, so its performance will not degrade, right? Next is resource sharing. Resource sharing is, earlier when compute there was no internet, that time all the computers were dependent on their resources only, whatever resources are attached with that computer. But nowadays, because all the computers can be connected in a network, it can be a wired network also, it can be a wireless network also, right? So you can use the resources. Suppose you are an employee of a company and you are doing work from home. Even from your home, from your laptop, you can access the software of your office, you can access the control the hardware, software, or any files stored in your office computer. Okay, so you can access the resources of your office also. That is the resource sharing. So if there is a file which is not on your computer but which is on your colleague's computer, but both of your computers are connected in a LAN, so you can access, you can read that file also, which is not on your system but in a network all the systems are connected and that is on some other employee's computer. That is resource sharing, right? Suppose there are 10 computers in a network and the printer is connected, there is only one printer connected to the manager's computer. That doesn't mean that all other 9 employees cannot give the printout command from their computer. From your computer, you can give the printout command and you can take the printout from that single printer. Why? Because that printer is in the network. That in the network or their printer, and all the devices and all the computers are connected. So even if there is only one printer, but all the 10 computers use that printer, which is lying on the manager's table. Okay, so that is the resource sharing. So computers in a network can share each other's software resources, also hardware resources also. Right? So these are the features of computers. Next, we come to the components of computer. Okay, so now how many parts are there in computer? So first, as I said, it will take the input. So there is one input unit. Then I said it will process that input. So there is one processing unit. Then I said it will give you the output. So there is one output unit. Okay. So as I said, for input unit, what is input unit? It will accept the input from the input, or you can say data from the user, as I just explained in the beginning, right? So you will input the data or some instruction. Then what it will do, as I said, it cannot understand our language, right? So whatever data you are giving, providing, whatever or whatever instructions, whatever data you are giving, that data is in your, it can be in your English language, right? So but the computer can understand only 0 and 1 language. So whatever data you give through the input devices, like your keyboard, your mouse, these all are your input devices. Now whatever data you provide, that data cannot be understood by the computer, because that is in your language, your regional language. So that will be converted into the machine language. Okay. Okay, Jacqueline, if you are not a student of CIT, you are a student of library and information science, then why you are attending this class? How you got the link of this class? I don't know. I don't know. You need to attend this session or not. Okay. Anyways, so what I was saying, yes. So whatever input you give, the user give to the computer, that data and the instruction. Obviously, you provide the data to the computer also for processing, and you give the instructions also, like what process to perform on that data. So user provides the data and the instruction as an input, right? And then that data and instructions will be converted into machine language. Okay, because that input is not directly understood by the computer, right? So that when the input unit will accept that data and instruction, then it will convert it into the binary code, and then it will forward it to the computer. So that is the input unit. Then it will go to the processing unit, right? Input has converted it into binary language, then it will go to the processing unit. So that processing unit is called the CPU, central processing unit. This CPU performs like whatever instruction you have given. So you will provide that data and instruction to the CPU, and CPU perform that instruction on that data, right? So in the job of input is only to accept the input, but who will perform the processing on that data? CPU, right? So CPU will do the processing. Now this CPU again has, no, is divided in two parts. One is ALU and one is control unit. Okay, ALU is arithmetic logical unit. So whatever processing computer does, that performs all the instruction in the form of arithmetic or logical operations only. Okay, whatever instruction you give, it will be implemented in the form of arithmetic or logical operation, right? So that will study later on in detail what are the arithmetic and logical operations. So here, like, it will perform all the operations only in two ways, or either in arithmetic operation or it will perform it in logical operation. So that is why this is called ALU. So this is the main part of the CPU which will perform the processing or which will perform the operation on the data. Now, what is the second part of CPU? That is control unit. Control unit is, it will just perform the supervision. Okay, whether we have received the input from the input unit, whether we have forwarded the output to the output unit. So it will see whether all the parts are in coordination or not. Okay, so it will supervise the overall functioning of the all the units of the computer, right? So as I said, first is the input unit, second it will go to the processing unit, that is CPU. That CPU has two parts, ALU and CU. Is it clear? Yes, up to this point? No reply? Okay, thank you. So third is, what do you think? We have one input unit, then we have processing unit. What do you think should be the next third unit? Which should be the third component of the computer? Yes. No idea. What it will do? It will accept the input, it will process on the input, then what it will do? Computer. What is the third step? I just told you IPO cycle. What is that? Are you not getting me? Are you not getting my English, my language? What is IPO? Input, process, and are you all listening to me? Nayawa, Zumana. Input, process, output. What is IPO? Input, process, output. So computer will accept the input, then it will process this input or data, you can say, and then it will output. Output means again it will display me the final result. Okay? So output is the final result will be supplied by the computer. In which form it will be supplied? It can be in many forms. If you want it in a soft copy, it will show you on the screen. If you want it in a hard copy, you can take the output on the printer also in the form of printout, and sometimes it can be in the form of through speakers only, right? Speakers are also your output device, because nowadays sometimes you just hear the output, like we have Alexa and all that, so you just want that output in the form of sound also, right? So whichever way, the whatever input you give, the computer will process that and then it will give us the output. But again, the output will be in which form? The output will be in which form? What do you think? The CPU will give the output in which form, in which language?
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
So the output will be in the hardware.
Yes, the output will be in binary language, in 0 and 1 language. Now again, we cannot understand that, so the output unit will convert it in user's language, in our human beings language, so that we can understand it. Okay, so when we give the instruction, it is internally converted into computer's language. Computer will process the in whatever instruction you have given, you it will process that data, okay, in that machine language only. And then again, the result, whatever output it has, it as a result, we will not be able to understand that result, so that result will be again converted into human readable form. Okay, so and then it will be supplied, the result, to the outside world in the form of screen, also in the form of printer also, right? So there are many output devices also, right? So these are your parts, components of your computer. Then there is one more component, like every time I don't want to run and see the output only, I want the computer to save that output for future use, isn't it? You want the computer to save the result, right? So for that, we have storage unit. Like we can, it's not only that I will give it input, it will process it and it will show me. I want to save that file also. Okay, save that result in some file also. So that is your storage unit. So there is one storage unit also in the computer, which is used for storing the data, for storing the instruction, for storing the output. It is used to store input also, and it is used to store output also. Because every time I don't want that I will no type the input from the keyboard, I want you save this input file, and whenever I want, I give you some instruction to process on that file, you can take that file from your storage unit itself. So it will pick up that input from the storage unit, it will process it, and it will save the output again in that file, in that storage unit. Okay, and in which form you can store, where you store your data in a computer? Yes, which device you use to store your data in the computer? Yes.
Yes, we use the hard disk to store
Yes,
the
we use
data.
hard disk, we use pen drive, right? So there are so many types of secondary device. We call them secondary storage, right? So these all are your storage unit. So now we have done the components of computer. Now next is, how does a computer work? So how does a computer? It will accept the input. Input can be from the keyboard also, or input can be picked up from its storage unit also, right? Then it will process it, and then it will store and display that. So this is the diagram of block diagram of computer. This is very important. So you get one question like how computer works, or explain the block diagram. Okay, so this is the diagram that you provide the data as input, then it will go to these your CPU, it will perform that processing, and you want to store that input in the storage unit also. Okay, why you want to store that? Because next time if you want the CPU to perform some data, or to perform some operation on the same data, so you will not pass the input again, it will just pick up that file from the storage unit. So you must have heard of RAM, right? Mobiles also we have RAM, so that is come under primary. And like uh, Francis told us hard disk, that comes under the secondary storage device. Okay, and after processing, it will give you the output on some output device. That can be a monitor, that can be a speaker, that can be your printer. Okay, and you can save that file in the hard disk also. You can save that file in the secondary storage also. Okay, so this is here for future use. If you want to see the result in the future, so you will store that in the secondary storage unit. So this is the block diagram of computer which explain how computer works. I hope this is clear. Next is application. Application is where we use computer. Now you tell me where we use computer, in which areas we use computer. Yes, where computers are used, in which area computers are used. Zumana Zanga, are you busy? Are you listening? Nayawa, are you listening to me? Yes, Francis, go ahead. Tell me where you use computer, in which sector it is used. Everywhere means where. If you get this question in your exam, write down the applications of computer. You will write this one line only. Yes, Zumana Zanga, will you write this one sentence only everywhere? You have to specify what are the different area. Where computers are used, in which area. It will be better if you guys open your cameras. No idea. Nobody knows anything about computer. Yes, right. We can use it in medical field, we can use it in education, in entertainment, in banking, in yes, these are the applications, right? Okay, businesses, in education, in research organization, very good, right? So we use it in scientific organizations also, like if we have to launch some satellite. If in education also, like right now we are using this computer for no doctors also, in medical line also, they diagnose, and no, they use for complex surgeries, they use computers, right? Then next is engineering and manufacturing, computers are used. Okay, entertainments, computers are used. Then in communication, if we have to send mail to each other, right? So that is all, we use computer for communication. Okay, so in factories also, where some manufacturing is done, and we have to draw the like in a car manufacturing company, first they draw the diagram of the car, suppose, right? So they use this computer for all the designing also, right? So we use it in publishing sector. Okay, we use it in banking, in business. So these are your applications of computer, right? Next is uh, just giving you some idea of history of computer, right? So what history of computer is like, in the beginning, when no there was some not so civilized society, and that time you can say 5,000 years from now. So what human beings were using for calculation, they use this kind of abacus. Okay, so this device contains beads, and they used this for the calculation. Then next was Napier bones. Okay, so there was a mathematician in 1600. So he was using this some kind of calculating rods for multiplication and division with this bones. Okay, we called this rods as bones. So it was named after him, after this John Napier, mathematician. Okay, then is next is Pascaline. Pascaline is it was the first mechanical calculator. Okay, and the who invented this machine was Blaise Pascal, right? But it could calculate only up to 8 digits. Okay, it could only add or subtract numbers, right? And then again there was one scientist called German mathematician. He extended this Pascal design, and then this Pascaline machine could multiply and divide also, right? So this extended machine was called step reckoner. Okay, but till this point, these all were some mechanical machines. Okay, they did not have any memory. Memory means that storage unit. Okay, and they needed human intervention at each step. That means it was not automatic. Okay, so after that, then Joseph Jacquard, he manufactured this punch card. Okay, and this was like kind of process was automatic. Okay, there was a program which was controlling all the process. Okay, so from the punch card, the era of storing started. So this I'm just telling you for your knowledge purpose only. So this was the punch card was the first invention for the storage. Okay, so earlier punch card was used as a storage device. Then next is difference engine, right? So if you have you heard like who is called the father of computer? Anybody has heard that? Who is called the father of computer? Nobody has heard it. Charles Babbage. Charles Babbage is called the father of computer, right? Why he is called the father of computer? Because he was the first person who invented this machine, right, which perform all kind of mechanical operation. It was having some stored program also. So this was capable of performing all kind of equation, and that is why this is called difference engine. Okay, so he first Charles Babbage, he first proposed this difference engine. Okay, and then on the basis of his machine, this difference engine, right, then Charles Babbage made that first general purpose computer, which is called analytical engine. Okay, so which is, you can say, the basic model of today's computer, the first model of today's computer. Why this is the basic model? Because as we did, there is one input unit, output unit, processing unit, and storage unit. So in this first time in his machine was having all these four units: input, process, memory output. Okay, so this was capable of performing all the modifications, all the calculations. Okay, so that is why this Charles Babbage is called as a father of computer. Next is Hollerith machine, right? So um, there was again one scientist, his name was Herman Hollerith, and then what idea this Charles Babbage give as a, no, it was his idea as analytical engine, right? So he developed his model. So he first designed this first electromechanical. Before that, all the machines were only mechanical, right? Mechanical means human were performing all these steps manually, right? But here this was electromechanical, right? So it used punch card for input and output operation, right? So then again, there was some Professor Howard, and it was the first machine he invented for operations without human intervention. Okay, so this, that is why this is called electromechanical. So in the beginning, what I'm trying to say, the machines were only mechanical, then came electromechanical, and then they were like became electric computer, not mechanical, fully electric, right? That is why computer is called electrical device, electronic device. Okay, so from here, the you get the questions in your exam, that from the point where we started using computers, those generation or those decades have been divided in 5 generations. Okay, so first generation computers, the size of those computer was very big. Okay, why? Because they were built using vacuum tubes. Okay, and the size of the vacuum tube is very big, like you one we needed one room to place one computer. The size of one computer was almost like a big room. Okay, that was the size of computer, and it was totally based on machine language, as I just explained, right? And it was not so fast, it could perform the computations in milliseconds. Okay, then, so what are the features of first generation of computer? They were based on vacuum tube. They were very large. They were they used to generate a large amount of heat. They lack in versatility and speed. Okay, they were not very fast. They were not, and they were very expensive also, right? So that is why normal public could not be able to afford those computers. Only very large government organization used to have these computers. Okay, and they were very prone to failure, right? They were not so reliable, they were very unreliable, their maintenance cost was very high. So these were the features of first generation. So in first generation, these are the examples: advac, univac, right? And their period was 1942 to 1955, right? During this period, the computers we were using were of first generation. Then what happened in the second generation, that is 1956 to 1963, right? So first of all, instead of vacuum tubes, we started using transistors, right? So it was a small device. So the size of the computer was greatly reduced, right? It became faster, it became cheaper, and it became more reliable than their predecessor, like more reliable than first generation computer. Okay, and here we started using magnetic disk as a secondary storage devices. Then in the first generation computer, only machine language was used, but here we started using English like programming language, and those languages are called high level language, which are easily understood by the user. That was not machine language, that was easily understood by the user. Those are called high level languages. Okay, so what are the features and examples of the second generation IBM? These machines were the examples. Then features were faster than first generation, smaller than first generation. Then heat generation was also less. Okay, Then the first generation computer. Then heat was very less than the first generations, but still it was like the rooms needed to be air conditioned. In the beginning, there was so much of heat generated by this computer that we it was must to have AC in the room where you have installed computers. Okay, right? So this is second generation computer. They consumed less power than the first generation. They were consuming very high power they needed. Then they were more reliable than first generation and less failures than first generation. Okay, and here we started using primary and secondary memory, and they were easy to program. Why? Because we were not working on machine language, we were working on high level language, right? Then came the third generation computer, that is from 1964 to early 70s. So here these transistors were replaced by ICs, that is called integrated circuits, or we can call it chip. Okay, so this is like they can integrate large number of transistor on one chip, and that size of chip is very small. So then these computer became very smaller in size, very reliable, efficient. Okay, and here we started using keyboards and monitors. Okay, and now because they become very cheap and become very small, so in the third generation, the no it was available for the mass audience. Okay, before this, they were the thing of like only big business organization or government organizations. Okay, they were not available for public because they could not afford it, right? So in third generation, they started using IC. Their computation time reduced from microseconds to nanosecond. Like earlier it was in milliseconds, then microseconds. In third generation, it reduced to nanoseconds, right? It became more portable, more reliable, because obviously size was very reduced, so it became very portable. You can easily take it from one place to other, right? They consume very less power and they generated very less heat. Okay, then its hardware become very reliable, so its maintenance cost was also very low, right? And we had started using high level language on a very large scale. Okay, so this is your third generation computer. Then came the fourth generation, that is from 1970s to till date, right? So 19 till date, the computers we are using is fourth generation. Then because here these ICs were replaced by VLSI and LSI, that is very large scale integrated circuits. They could uh, you can say they could integrate around 50,000 transistors in a chip. Okay, so here the CPU emerged as a microprocessor. Okay, and it became a like a personal computer, like in the common public started using it as a at their home. Okay, so we started using hard disk. It became very economical, very cheap. So from this fourth generation computer, we can say that we started using hard disk. There was some networking concept. It became very small and economical, so that normal public could afford it at their home or at their offices. So these are the characteristics of fourth generation, that they became very small and microprocessors were there, very portable. Okay, and very least amount of heat they required, right? And interconnection of the computer, that is networking, started in this generation. And there was least amount of maintenance required. So that is your fourth generation. And fifth generation is your uh, artificial intelligence. Okay, that is present and beyond. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Any idea? Yes. You guys are studying this computer subject for the first time. You haven't heard of this computer before? Yes. Have you heard of this term AI? No idea. Artificial intelligence that is used nowadays in every sector, like which is like now machine can think like human being, right? Earlier we used to say human are the intelligent, no, creatures, you can say. Animals are not intelligent. They have, I mean, they can process things, but obviously human brain is more developed, right? But now we are making computers like they can also think and decide like human beings can decide, right? So that is what called AI, right? So nowadays in every sector you use AI. Okay, like in driving we see now driverless cars are there. For planes also we have, they they can they can fly the planes on automatic, no, without pilots, also autopilot that is called. So in every sector, like in uh, ACs also we see that AC can sense and take the decision where to throw the air, like that, right? So they can think like human being, they can decide like human being. Because before that, whenever we give some data and instruction to the computer, we used to tell the computer what to do and how to do it. Human beings used to tell the computer the steps of solution. Okay, but now in AI we just tell the computer what to do. The steps of the solution will be decided by the machine itself, that how it will process that. Okay, so now this is the fifth generation which is still going on, which is so much is new, so much in news. This is very surprising from me that you haven't heard about it. So please go and find out more and research more on this term AI, because this is the present and this is the future of computer. Okay, so this is your fifth generation, right? And this is like artificial intelligence, where we see that what are robots. Robots are like, obviously, that they can speak like human being, they can think like human being, they can, you know, reason like human being. Okay, so these are the, this is the table, the summarized table of different generations of computer. First was vacuum tube, second was transistor, third was based on ICs, fourth was on microchips, which we call microprocessor, right? So the size in first generation was like a big building, second generation was half a room, third was smaller, fourth is more reduced, like that. Okay, so that was the generation of computer, right? Now next is types of computer. Okay, just a just a second. to put that laptop on charging. Yes, just a second. Is my screen visible? Yes, is my screen visible?
Yes, mom.
Okay. Yes, so now I'm going to explain the types of computer, right? Now, types of computers, we have divided the categories of computer on different basis, right? So first basis, on the first basis, we can divide the computer on the basis of the signals, okay, on what kind of signal it works. So if the basis on that, we have digital computer, analog computer, and hybrid computer. Now what is digital and what is analog? Digital is which takes the what do you say, this electronic signals. Okay, so this is basically sorry, not electronic, which is based on this binary information. As I said, that computer works on this binary language, 0 and 1 language. Okay, so if any machine which works on the 0 and 1 language, that is called digital computer. Okay, and obviously they are more accurate, right? So nowadays we see that computers are in business and in scientific applications, the computers are of digital computer. The computer that we use in our homes also, they are digital computer. Now what is analog computer? Analog computer means which use the input in the form of length, in the form of current, in the form of voltage, temperature. Okay, so there are some machine which will take temperature as an input, there are some machine which will take current or voltage as an input, right? And they will process that kind of information. So these are your analog. So basically they work on different kind of signals. Okay, so they are used in engineering and scientific application. So example is, like here one example I have given, in electronic weighing machine, that does not take input in the form of 0 and 1, right? So they are basically, they are called continuous quantities. If you have studied this in science, analog signals and digital signals. Okay, so which gives you more accurate information? Digital computer. So the computer that we use, which uses 0 and 1, this electronic signals, you can say, they are your not electronic, I mean 0 and 1 binary data. So they are your digital computers. Now these digital computers are divided based on two categories. One is purpose wise, one is size and performance wise. Purpose wise means special purpose machine and general purpose. Okay, now these on the basis of purpose, this can be divided in two categories. One is special purpose, one is general purpose. Just a second, I missed this point. Hybrid. Okay, so digital is what works on 0 and 1, and all the computers which we use, they work on 0 and 1 input, so they are digital. Analog is which take input in the form of voltage, temperature, current, like they are analogs. computers. And what is hybrid? Hybrid is combination of both. Okay, those machines which take some input in the form of 0 and 1, and they take some input in the form of current and voltage, like that. So they are called hybrid. And example is, there are some machines which are used in hospitals, in medical fields. So there are machines which take few input as a analog signal and few input as digital signal. They are called hybrid. Okay, now obviously the computers come under this digital category. So now we have to study the categories of this digital computers. Again, this can be divided in different categories based on two bases. One is purpose wise, one is size and performance wise. Okay, so purpose wise, it can be divided in special and general purpose. Now, what is special and general purpose? The machine we use in our home, what do you think? That is special purpose machine or general purpose machine? Yes, the computer that right now you are using, what do you think? That is a special purpose machine, computer, or general purpose computer? As I said, I want you guys to respond. Open your cameras, please. Reply right or wrong, please. It will make this session more interactive. I want to make this session more interactive. Okay, it's not only that I'm keep on speaking. Also, please involve in this session. That will make it more interesting. Okay. So what do you think? The computer you are using right now is general purpose computer or special purpose computer? Yes, you are right, Francis. The computers we are using are general purpose. Why? Because on those computers we can listen music also, we can do typing work also, we can, you know, uh, watch movies also, we can do all kind of things on that machine. So that is why this is called general purpose. Okay, and what is special purpose? Special purpose machines are which are made only for one specific purpose only, right? Like ATM machine is made only for one purpose. It cannot perform any other task. Like fully automatic washing machine, they are also digital nowadays, right? But they can perform only one kind of task. So they are special purpose machines. Okay, because that one type of instruction is stored in the memory and it will perform that instruction only. That is called special purpose machine or special purpose computer. Is it clear? Next basis of division is size of computers. Now on the basis of size, we can divide the computer in four categories: micro, mini, mainframe, and super. The computer we used in our homes, that is of, you can say, the smallest of out of all these categories. So that comes under microcomputer that we use in our homes. Okay, that can be desktop, laptop, palm top, all that. All that comes under, you know, this microcomputer. Then, and the Biggest of all this is supercomputer, which is used by the big scientific organizations only. And no, some countries have it, some countries don't have it. So there are very few supercomputers in the world. Okay, so the largest is supercomputer. They are used for weather forecasting, no, nuclear research, geological data, all these kind of scientific purpose, right? So they are capable of performing trillions of instructions per second. Okay, so they are your supercomputer. Less than that, next is below that, that is your mainframe computer. Okay, mainframe is just which is smaller than supercomputer, but still it's so powerful that it is used by the very big business organizations only. Okay, like there is some bank which has branches all over the world, so that bank will use this mainframe computer. Okay, and powerful means the size of memory, powerful means the speed of the processor. Okay, so based on that speed of the processor and the size of its storage capacity, that makes it more powerful, right? So obviously these are also very expensive computer. They can support thousands of users simultaneously. Okay, so as I said, the very big organization, they use this mainframe computer to use as a server. Okay, to use it as a server, they use mainframe for their server machines only. When they have to make a server, then they use this mainframe. Okay, then less than that we have mini computer. Mini computer means mid size. Okay, the normal business organizations can use it. Okay, so that is not so powerful and expensive like mainframe, and that is not normal computer that we use in our homes. Okay, so they are mid size, between that micro mainframe and microcomputer. Okay, and but yes, they are more powerful than micro, but less powerful than mainframe. And same way, they are more expensive than micro and less expensive than mainframe. So this micro, as I said, the personal computer that we use in our homes, the desktop, the laptops, okay, the PDAs, palm top, whatever you call it, right? And third category, as I said, digital, analog, and third is hybrid, that is used in hospital or weather forecasting, which use, what is hybrid computer? What is hybrid computer? Yes, hybrid is which use both kind of signals, analog also and digital also. Okay, so that kind of machines which take some input in the form of temperature and voltage and some inputs in the form of 0 and 1, that is called hybrid, and which are used in hospitals or weather forecasting. Am I clear? Francis, Zanga, am I clear? My whatever I am telling you, whatever I am teaching you, is it clear to both of you?
Yes.
Any doubts in this today's presentation? If you have any doubt, you can raise it. This was the basic that we did today. The parts of computer, types of computer, generation of computer. We studied some history of computers. And please be more responsive from the next class. Okay. And if you don't have any query, I can wind up the session for today. Yes, can I wind up the class? Okay, so you guys can leave the session. It's over. Today's class is over. I'll see you tomorrow. Right? Yes, you guys can leave the session now.